I'm a recreation director for the city, the Department of Recreation and Parks. I got hurt back in 2015 at work, and then finally it just got to the point where my hip started bothering me, where it was like, okay, this isn't good. So I had contacted a lawyer and got with them, but it got to the point where they weren't returning phone calls, and I was always talking to the legal assistant. I never talked to the lawyer and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm done. So I just did a Google search, and it just happened to be that Stevens law firm came up. And I'm like, okay, they're not far away, like 10 minutes away. Let me call them and see what's going on. And I got an appointment with Sean, and I talked to Sean in person. Actually, I came to the office and told him my whole situation and everything like that. And we talked for about an hour or so, and then he gave me some interesting facts and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get rid of them and get you? And he told me the procedure, and I got Sean, and
you got your attack dog.
got my attack dog, and the rest is history. Yeah, he got him because they denied my claim originally, trying to say, oh, that's an old injury. But it was like, okay. But Sean said, no, don't worry about it. And so he did what he needed to do and got everything settled, and I got taken care of and the whole 9 yards. So I'm definitely a loyal client, and I would recommend Sean to anybody and everybody, you know.
Changed your life?
Oh yeah, exactly. He does what he says. I'm always in the loop on what's going on, and and that's what I want. I want somebody, if they tell me they're going to do something, I want them to follow through, and that's what Sean does. So I have no complaints whatsoever, none. So I was at work, and for my hip, it got to the point where, just all the wear and tear, walking around and doing everything like that, I slipped, and, like a day or two later, I'm like, okay, this is, this doesn't feel good. So I called, you got to go through the procedure, and I called, and I saw the doctor that deals with the city. I had to go to the industrial doctor and stuff, and did all that stuff, and went through them and did everything. And finally, it just got to the point where I ended up having I did physical therapy, I did acupuncture, I did everything known to mankind. It wasn't getting any better. Well, finally, they had me do a MRI, and basically they said, you're going to have to get it replaced because there's nothing we can do for you. You're just past the point of no return. I'm like, okay, and I had, my original, when I originally hurt my hip, it was like in 1989, something like that. So
this is before?
This is before I even worked for the city.
Okay.
And when I got denied, it was so funny. I talked to Sean, and they had we were going to go see the workers' comp judge because everybody goes, you go down to downtown Long Beach.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny. I was supposed to go, and I think 4 days maybe before I was supposed to go, I got a letter from the city attorney. Oh, we've accepted your claim. Wow, really? That's funny. Okay, so we did that, and then after that, we worked on. One thing I will say, the good thing about working for the city, when it's a workers' comp claim, you can pretty much go anywhere to, get surgery, do whatever. Well, I picked Curlin and Job. They're on the list, and they're like the creme de la creme. So I was able to get Curlin and Job, and then I was able to get my surgery and get all my rehab and everything like that. And he was able to get me a good settlement as far as what they were going to have to pay me for my injury and stuff like that. So, and then on my shoulder, I was going up the ramp to go back to work, and I slipped. And what's your first natural instinct? You try to brace your fall. Well, I did, and I guess I jammed my shoulder. What happened on a Friday didn't bother me at all. Saturday afternoon, I was just like, OMG, what is going on here? And my shoulder was just killing me. Well, once again, I had to go to the industrial doctor. They did x-rays, negative, physical therapy, the whole 9 yards. And then once the city accepted my claim on my shoulder, I said, okay, I want to switch over. And then I ended up going back to Curlin and Joe because 2000, I think it was 13, I hurt this shoulder at work. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to them because I'll get to deal with the same doctor and everything like that. So I did that, and I'm here. Here I am now, dealing with the city again. You know, not want me to have the surgery and stuff like that. But I was like, okay. Once all that stuff went through, I was like, okay, time to call Attack Dog and let him know I need his help again. And here we are. Sean's on the case again. You know, dealing with the city in my behalf to get what I feel like I'm entitled to. Well, you know, people don't understand that. You know, this compensation. You know, this is for pain and suffering. I don't care what anybody tries to say. When you have to have a hip replacement, I'll tell people, because I've been through it, it's not an easy surgery whatsoever. You know, and you're paying, you know, they're paying you for what you had to go through. You know, I'm at work. It wasn't like I was somewhere else and tried to fake like I got hurt, because it's been documented that I was hurt back, you know, a long time ago when I worked for the city in a different department. So it's not like I'm trying to pull a fast one on them. It does help because you lose a lot of things that you might not normally have. And the other thing is having lifetime medical, because there's always a good possibility that somewhere down the line you might have to get another surgery or something might happen. And you know, the good thing about it is with having a lifetime medical, the city has to cover the cost of whatever it is, you know, until the day you put it underneath the ground or whatever the situation is going to be. So it helps a lot, you know, being able to know that you're going to be able to be taken care of basically. And if something happens, you don't have to worry about it because they're going to have to cover it.
Damn.
So it makes a big difference.
Damn.
People ever ask me, well, you know, I got a workers' comp case. Here's the number. This is who you call. I guarantee you they're going to take care of you. And they're going to look out for you. And they're going to do the best job they can to get you everything you deserve. I wouldn't hesitate having Steve or Sean at all. And I have the utmost confidence. And I'm not you know, like the old commercials, I'm not a paid spokesperson. I'm an actual client. I'm somebody who's dealt with them on a real basis that I'm still dealing with. And that's why I'm confident in what they do, how they do it. And I haven't met a workers' comp attorney that I trust more, that I have a good rapport with, that I know that they're going to look out for my best interest. Well, I think what happens is, and the reality is, we have lawyers for a reason. And you know, when you're dealing, you know, I'm dealing with the city because that's who I work for. And the city is always going to look out for the city. And people have to deal with that reality. If you think the city, you know, really, honestly, truly, at the end of the day, really cares about you, you're fooling yourself. The city's going to look out for the city. So what ends up happening is I have to go to a lawyer because I got to make sure I'm getting everything I'm supposed to get, everything I deserve. And me being just the average Joe citizen, I don't know everything I'm entitled to. And I'm one of those people, I don't trust the city. I don't trust them to do me right. And because of that, you know, I'm sure they're going to try to lowball me, or they're going to try whatever they can for me to sign on the dotted line. Well, I'm not doing that. I would rather go to an attorney. I would rather for them to look everything over and say, hey, this is what you're entitled to. This is what we're going to go after. And I just feel a lot more confident doing it that way. And like I said, dealing with Stephen and dealing with Sean, I felt really comfortable when he basically said, hey, this is what I think you can get. This is what I think your claim is worth. And then he went back with the city, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we finally settled on an amount that I was comfortable with. And we signed on the dotted line, and we were good. You know, it was like a big weight off my shoulders and stuff when I finally knew that, you know, basically that the claim was good. The city basically took full responsibility. They decided on the compensation, how much I was going to get, and it was just like, okay, good. You know, I felt relieved because, like, okay, they had to take by me signing that, by them agreeing to the settlement amount. That just verified to me that, okay, I did the right thing by hiring, you know, Sean, and that he really did look out for me. And I was happy when when I got the amount and stuff like that and everything like that. It was just like a weight off my mind. Like, okay, good. I would say honestly and truly, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just like, if you need a workers' comp attorney, I'm telling you, I'm letting you know that you need to come see Stephen and you need to see Sean without hesitation. I don't just go ahead and endorse anybody. That's not who I am. I don't endorse people just for the sake of endorsing them. That's not who I am. I would never endorse anybody unless I've dealt with them personally and I know they're going to do what they need to do. And that's why, without fail, that I would say if you come here and if you got a workers' comp case, they're going to take care of you and they're going to look out for you and you'll be satisfied with the end result.